Hi, this is Nikki, and I'm here to share messages that get from spirit for all of us who are all on this journey to love and to reunite with our divine vibrational matches in this lifetime. And today I'm just going to share something that yesterday, all my messages go from one to the next to the next, and they're all like super intertwined. All three people that come to me for healings and readings and channelings, or join the crystal grid that I do, or and basically if you're listening to this message, then you resonate with the twin flame soul to soul energy. And yesterday I was saying about that a lot of it had come to my awareness that a lot of divine feminines are feeling that sense of, oh, is this ever gonna is this kind of like ever gonna end, and basically feeling quite disenchanted, and or just having, like I shared a few months ago, that I found out that my twin had bought a house with his girlfriend, and at that point it just was like, it's like who knows? Like, if you've gone through this sort of experience and you've found something out about your twin, whether they got married or had kids or whatever, then you know that it's just like, it's pretty bad. That's all I can say. It's like a pretty deep blow. Because we have expectations, right? And because especially there's such a big build up, I think, especially if there was, like, I can relate to how I felt. It was kind of like there was such a big build up to 2020 and the age of Aquarius, and kind of like, oh, is this the year that it's going to happen, and da da da. And yeah, so there was like a real expectation. So when you then find out that something like that's happened, it kind of like, obviously it completely takes the wind from your sails. You're like, are you serious? That kind of like, are you actually serious? Like, where is the cosmic joke in that kind of thing? Anyway, and then, so at the time I shared this like a few months ago on this channel, and then around about that same time, I shared a poem by a girl called Sophia Rose, which says she let go. And then interestingly, I spoke about the poem in yesterday's video. And today I've just done an online yoga session. And at the end of this yoga session, they do like a stretching. They do a meditation. And at the end of the meditation, he said this poem again, which is so perfect. So, because I was actually talking about this poem yesterday, and in yesterday's video. And when I was doing the meditation, what I was being shown, which is so true, is that basically, in a weird way, after the initial pain of me finding out that my twin had bought a house with his girlfriend, after the initial like horrendous kind of like blow to the stomach that is, there is a weird sense of relief. And because and then I'll tell you why. Then they showed me this today when it came to me when I was doing the meditation, and there was a weird sense of release, because the expectation of it and when it's going to happen just went, right? Because I was like, well, he's bought a house with a girlfriend, so it can't happen anytime soon, kind of thing. So I was like, okay. And I just sort of like released it, and I was like, all right, I know that. And in a weird way, and I felt it in my energy. It was just like, oh, it felt like there was no longer that kind of like tension about, oh, well, when is this going to happen? And if it's not going to happen this year, when is it going to, that kind of sense of, that feeling of like, is it imminent? And then, oh, I want it, when is it going to be? The tension that creates, right? And and I was saying that, each time we go through these kind of like massive things that like make you think, what? Like, whatever it is for you and your twin, there'll be countless times, or maybe, you know, for me it's like once every 2 years that something happens and I'm like, are you actually joking? And then you get through it and then you're like, okay, I feel weirdly after the initial, like I say, the roller coaster bit, then you're like, oh, okay, no, I feel all right about this. I feel actually in a better place than I was before. Because, you know, it's a growth journey, isn't it? So we're all growing, we're all expanding in our light all the time, and so it makes you stronger. And so what they said, so basically in the meditation, sorry, I'll get there in the end. In the meditation this morning, they basically used, you know, like when people are really, really wanting to get pregnant, and then it very often happens that once they completely let go, or it happened to a friend of mine, she had IVF a number of times. She did have a child through IVF, and then and she was told she could never have children. And then after her initial IVF, first child with IVF, she had a baby naturally. And it's that thing that so they were using that as an example for me for today. They said the thing is that, you know, it's like that because there is no expectation. So there's no tension around it because you're not literally trying for it anymore. And I was like, oh, right. And I could totally relate to that because then I was like, yeah, that is so true. That's how I feel now around my twin connection. It's like I know that it's coming because you know, because I trust in my guidance, you know, I know it's part of my soul mission here to do that. But I have released the expectation of when. And that creates a space for freedom to happen. And in that space of freedom, because there is no tension, that is what they were saying. That's where miracles can happen, right? So that's why they were using the example of, you know, the people that, you know, really, really want to have a baby. And then you hear these stories of like, suddenly they have one, you know, when they've just completely given up hope and they're just like, oh no. And so, yeah, my guys are just saying that's the thing. It's because you by completely letting it go, you create a space for something to happen because there is no tension around it. There is no expectation. Energetically, you're like freeing yourself up, which I thought was really like a great way to show me because I was like, yeah, I totally get that. And that was so much about how I felt over the last few months since I found out my twin has bought a house with his girlfriend. Because yeah, there is that weird sense of like, oh, okay, well, it's obviously not happening anytime soon. And then who knows, Spirit will he'll probably come and knock on my door anytime soon, but who knows? So there is that sense of like release, right? So that's everything. So the reason why I say that is because that is certainly the process that I've been through over the last couple of months. And when the poem came up again in the session this morning, I was like, yes, there is definitely another sense of like freedom again. It's a freedom from the expectation, the expectation and the kind of like when, right? That's gone. And in that, it leaves a space for, you know, miracles to happen. Is basically what my guides are saying. So I'm going to share the poem again because it is so perfect. And when I heard it again this morning, I was like, yes, 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 this is what I needed to hear again. Because again, it just was like everything, like how I was feeling, and it feels empowering, and it feels like, yes, come on, I know, because my mind's, I mean, I have no change in the fact that I absolutely know without doubt that I will be with my twin. That I have no, it doesn't shake my doubt, it doesn't bring out doubt about the end result. So it just it just sort of shifts the expectation or releases the expectation of when. I think that's the thing. So right, so this is the poem. It's She Let Go, and after that I'm going to do a channeling, share a channeling that I did for a lady a couple of days ago. And interestingly, as always, nothing happens by accident. My pen ran out halfway through, and the only pen that I had in here was an orange pen, so I had to replace it with an orange pen. And orange is around, you know, your sacral chakra, which is all around kind of like it's releasing that fear about being completely intimate, completely vulnerable with somebody. Exactly what I'm sharing here, you know, being completely open and vulnerable about my experience. And, you know, all of this channel is really like being open about my experience and what I've learned during this process, and sharing what happens, or the guidance that comes through for me through doing things for all of you, right? And so I'm going to share this letter as well. So the first thing is I'm going to read the poem, because again, it is just all kinds of magical for today, and for anyone else that has gone through a similar, let's say releasing, because that's exactly what it is. This is what's had to happen, a big release, right? So that's what they were saying, that it creates a space for energy to work its miracles, because the tension is gone. They're like, that kind of like, when though has gone, because you're like, okay, well, whenever it's going to happen, you know, I'm just going to live my life in the meantime, and I'm going to have a really good time doing as much as I can to, you know, like stay in the light of my soul, basically. So so the poem is this, and it's so crazy, it's gorgeous. So the poem is called She Let Go, and it's by Sophia Rose. So she let go without a thought or a word. She let go. She let go of the fear. She let go of the judgments. She let go of the confluence of opinions swarming around her head. She let go of the committee of indecision within her, and she let go of all the right reasons. Wholly and completely, without hesitation or worry, she just let go. She didn't ask anyone for advice. She didn't read a book on how to let go, and she didn't search the scriptures. She just let go. She let go of all of the memories that held her back. She let go of all of the anxiety that kept her from moving forward. She let go of all the planning and all of the calculations about how to do it just right. She didn't promise to let go. She didn't journal about it. She didn't write the projected date in her day timer. She made no public announcement and put no ad in the paper. She didn't check the weather report or read her daily horoscope. She just let go. She didn't analyze whether she should let go. She didn't call her friends to discuss the matter. She didn't do a 5-step spiritual mind treatment. She didn't call the prayer line. She didn't utter one word. She just let go. No one was around when it happened, and there was no applause or congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her, and no one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, she just let go. There was no effort. There was no struggle. It wasn't good, and it wasn't bad. It was what it was, and it is just that. In the space of letting go, she let it all be. A small smile came over her face. A light breeze blew through her, and the sun and the moon shone forever. Wow. So, and I remember when I read that about 2 months ago on the video. I think the video is called She Let Go, and I was so emotional about it. So you'll just see, like, basically, if I recall how I was when I read that video, and I was like super emotional. I think I cried. I couldn't get through until the end. And then, you know, now I feel in a totally different now. So it just shows how much we lift and shift, and we change our vibration, and we, you know, work through those energies of, you know, everything, right? We're just constantly like this, like, you know, like a washing machine, just like being churned around. And then like sometimes you feel like you're being churned around so much, you're like, can you just like let go, you know, exactly like it says, just let go. And so that is the poem, and it's just an amazing poem. Sapphire Rose is her name, and it's called She Let Go, and it is just stunning. I think she does. I don't know if she has her poetry book out. I think it's coming. Oh no, it must be out. So yeah, brilliant. So now I'm going to share the channel letter that I did. So this is from her twin to her. So there is a white light that is powering the source of the universe. The power of light is the love force that runs through every living being and every living creation. You and me, we are born of that light. We are made out of the vibration and frequency of divine love. Our truth is powering the light in our spirit. We have grown in our light. We are stronger today than we were yesterday. Know that this is our truth. We are training our light bodies to take on higher frequencies. As we do this, our life and surroundings will change. Our experience will transform. It is purely a case of magnetics, magnetic attraction. We will magnetize to each other when our time is right. Believe in the power of light. Oh, wow. Right. So, and it's that sort of thing that when I do these, I'm like, oh, yeah, I have no, like, I never question whether I'll be with my twin or not. That I never question that, because the feeling was so overpowering when I first met him that I knew that he was going to be the person that I'd spend the rest of my life with. And that hasn't changed, never, ever. And that was like from the instant I saw him, I knew. And so that is what really, yeah, that's, you know, that's why I suppose that's why you find yourself in these weird connections, right? Because you're like, there's no rhyme or reason for it, but I just know, there's like a knowing within me. And it's, that's what takes me forward each and every day, right? To keep doing what we're doing as a collective as well. So I'm going to finish, I'm going to read it one more time because it's so cool. And it's again, like a massive reminder of what we're here to do, and to just keep going, right? Really believe. And if you have gone through a real, well, it's a massive blow. I'm not going to lie. I mean, finding out something about your twin, which just like shatters your kind of like world for however long, is you know, it's not easy, and that's really, really tough. But just trust that you will come out the other side of it, and you will come out stronger, and you will come out with a higher perspective on everything, because it allows you to break it. Just like the rose, we've had the unfolding rose card so many times from the Work Your Light Oracle, and that is all about saying this is happening for you, not to you. Remember that. And it's happening for you to break open, you know, every bit of your heart has to be like smashed open for you to still be to like remove those energetic layers that we need to, right? So there is a white light. So I'm going to share the letter again. There is a white light that is powering the source of the universe. The power of light is the love force that runs through every living being and every living creation. You and me, we are born of that light. We are made out of the vibration and frequency of divine love. Our truth is powering the light in our spirit. We have grown in our light. We are stronger today than we were yesterday. Know that this is our truth. We are training our light bodies to take on higher frequencies. As we do this, our life and surroundings will change. Our experience will transform. It is purely a case of magnetics, magnetic attraction. We will magnetize to each other when our time is right. Believe in the power of light. Ooh. So that just gives me like shivers all up my body. It's just like, oh wow, it's just okay. I'm like, okay then. So we're going to go with the Work Your Light Oracle because, you know, this is what we're here to do. So as a soul group, we're coming together to share each other's light, to basically amplify each other's light, right? Because it's like we strengthen. No way. Guess what it is again? Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. And look what's at the back. I love it. So at the back, it's like, no, say no to the fear and the doubt and the everything else. It just say no to the fear and the doubt. Know that we are creating this Lemuria on the heaven on earth. That's wild. Like I say, when you get repeat messages in cards and I just shuffled and shuffled, I've been shuffling those, and I put it in the card in the middle of the deck. So, in fact, I remember it's on page 114 because that was yesterday. So, let's have a look. I will share it again because it needs to come through again. So, Lemuria, or Mu, is one of the Earth's lost lands, where heaven really was a place on Earth, a time before we were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. In Lemuria, life worked in harmony. All beings were seen as equal, and we were deeply reverent to Mother Earth. We knew that mosquito was no worse than us, and the sun no better. Actually, just a nice thank you to everyone who sent healing to that lovely lady who I said was in hospital and she had COVID and pneumonia. She's now out and she's doing good. So just wanted to say thank you. So perhaps you too believe that heaven really can be a place on earth. Perhaps you are part of the transition team who at a soul level are devoted to creating this kind of harmony on the planet now. Thank you for wanting to do this work. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the state of affairs on the planet now. But you are being encouraged to keep holding the clear vision of the future. It is closer than you think. You may be guided to hold the frequency of Lemuria in your own community, family, workplace, or within yourself. Know that it is possible, and while at times it may feel like you are alone, you truly are not. There are hundreds of thousands who hold the codes of this ancient lost land, and even Lemuria crystals that hold the codes of remembering that are beginning to rise all over the planet. So keep doing what you're doing, and remember, the only way to heal the world around us is to first heal ourselves. And the activation is to say this: I hold the codes of Lemuria and believe that heaven really can be a place on earth. So I hold the codes of Lemuria and believe that heaven really can be a place on earth. So I'm going to read the poem one more time because I just think it's so powerful and just so amazing just to let the words really sink in. If you're in this process of just really, you know, really letting go and just going, I trust in my soul path. Right, it's essentially what we're doing, right? When we're completely letting go and like releasing expectation and letting go of timing and all of that stuff is basically just saying, I actually fully trust in my soul path. And I guess that's that truly is the power. The power is saying, I fully trust in what is here. I fully trust in the purpose of why I'm here as a soul living this physical experience. I fully trust in my purpose, I guess. So she let go. She let go without a word or a thought or a word. She let go. She let go of the fear. She let go of the judgments. She let go of the confluence of opinions swarming around her head. She let go of the committee of indecision within her. She let go of all the right reasons, wholly and completely, without hesitation or worry. She just let go. She didn't ask anyone for advice. She didn't read a book on how to let go. She didn't search the scriptures. She just let go. She let go of all of the memories that held her back. She let go of all of the anxiety that kept her from moving forward. She let go of the planning and all of the calculations about how to do it just right. She didn't promise to let go. She didn't journal it. She didn't write the projected date in her day timer. She made no public announcement and put no ad in the paper. She didn't check the weather report or read her daily horoscope. She just let go. She didn't analyze whether she should let go. She didn't call her friends to discuss the matter. She didn't do a 5-step spiritual mind treatment. She didn't call the prayer line. She didn't utter one word. She just let go. No one was around when it happened. There was no applause or congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, she just let go. There was no effort. There was no struggle. It wasn't good and it wasn't bad. It was what it was, and it is just that. In the space of letting go, she let it all be. A small smile came over her face. A light breeze blew through her, and the sun and the moon shone forevermore. Well, so there we go. All for, all in the line of duty, right? All in the line of duty for these crazy connections. And just remembering, right, that we are all in this together. We're all going through these like crazy experiences and messages and like all of the things that happen. And just trust that all of that is happening for a purpose. So the biggest thing is to trust in our soul purpose here as a soul group who came to literally, like it says, bring love to the planet, to bring a bit of heaven on earth. And this, look what it is, birthing a new age. Oh my God, you can't make it up. So birthing a new age, that's what we're here to do. That's what we are doing. So just trust, trust in the purpose of your soul, and that will lead you in the right way. So I really hope that helps. If you would like to have a healing, a reading, a channeling, or to get any of my books, then please do. All details are in the link against this video in the description box. But in the meantime, I hope you stay well, stay bright, and stay switched on to the light. See ya. Bye.